Welcome, adventurers, back to the stream. Been a little while, but that's okay. According to Google, I'm offline. Let's see. There we go. Awesome. So, I have a new thing, a new backgroundy thing that blocks my screen. It's very exciting. We could probably turn that off, like so. There we go. Leave that screen open in case I want to actually pop the chat out. And we will get rid of this window completely. Okay. Where's my chat that I just popped out? All right. Very nice, very nice. You guys probably can't see anything. That's okay. Well, yes, you can. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is nothing. This is just an equation that I reverse engineered from the Adventurers League. So I know how much to charge people when they wanted a spellcasting service in a town. Spell level, square it, times it by 10, and then you add for the components. Either if they're not consumed, 1/10. If they are consumed, you double it. Not a big deal. Doubling it seems a bit expensive, but that's just the default, so whatever. More importantly, I'm working on next session. I'm going to be running for one of my groups, and I'm just trying to just roughly go through the planning stuff. So the impact stuff is just decisions they've made in the game that have shaped the world. So they sold a magic item, which you're not supposed to do in 5th edition, but they really wanted to sell it, and so you try to accommodate, right? So basically, this guy, this granite merchant, he bought a magical axe after making sure that they approved that it was magical. So they had to go find a guy to identify it and sign off saying that it was indeed magical, and then he bought it from him for like 90 gold, and he's going to be selling it for 300 because 90 gold's a lot of money for a merchant to just throw away at something, but he recognizes that it has a great deal of value. So they were able to sell it, but they didn't. They kind of got ripped off, but at the same time, if he can't move it, he's out a lot of money, and he just has this stupid axe he doesn't know what to do with. So anyway, that's just something that's going on. They're sort of building a relationship with this merchant, so that's been kind of cool. Orphanage, one of the guys didn't want to carry around a bunch of just like loose change, and so he put it all in a bag and donated it to an orphanage, and they're grateful because it wasn't a ton of money, but it was like, I don't know, several hundred copper or something like that. So when we left off last, going down to the plan section, they had just defeated 2 ogres, and I ran out of time and I had to like leave the session really quickly. So they still have to do the loot for that. Now, I've actually got the loot on a different page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control K after I select that, which brings up the link. And then you can go in through the list of all the pages and sub-pages that you have. And I have one called Bounty the Twins. Boom. And now when I click on this, takes me to the ogre encounter, which includes the loot for it. Here. So there's 4 magic items in with these ogres. This was kind of my reward to these guys for finishing off a set of bounties. This was the last one. It was a lot easier of a fight than I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. Oh man, I'm tired. Oh, I didn't sleep well last night at all. Anyway, but they've been, magic items are cool, right? So so they're gonna find these. They're kind of tailored a little bit. So like one of the guys doesn't have dark vision, so these will help him. This Preparative Wound Closure, personally, I think is one of the most amazing items in the game. Like, it's phenomenal. Cloak of Elvenkind, one of the guys likes to sneak around, so this will make him better at that. And then Boots of striding and springing. One of the guys is really weak, and this specifically says that your movement, where's it go? Your speed isn't reduced if you are encumbered. So he's constantly struggling with like, what can I carry, what can't I carry? These boots will, he's been 4 levels of that, so these boots will undo that for him. So those are a good fit for him. This is actually the same guy, and then these will be a great fit for the guy, for the human, and then this should be a great fit for their tanky dwarf, who can then take a lot more damage and not take more, but heal more damage. Whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of hit points to resource. That is, to me, is great. Such a good thing, especially if you couple that with there's a feat. Not tough. Oh, what feat is that? What's going to bug me if I don't figure that out? So let's figure that out right now. Go to, where is it? This thing. Just make sure it's not tough. You don't have feats, apparently. Okay. I'll forget that then. I'm going to look it up on my phone. I use Fight Club 5 for all this stuff. I find it's very good. Durable, is that it? When you roll a hit die to regain hit points, the minimum number of hit points you regain from the roll equals twice your Constitution modifier, a minimum of 2. So I feel like that's a good combination. But I don't think he has that feat. I think it's a good combination. Anyway, so these guys need to, they're going to loot the stuff, but then they need to get back to town. So we go back to planning. We need a random encounter on the return trip, which I'm sure they'll sleep. So then we also need a random, I'm calling it a random encounter, but I'm kind of planning it out. It's not really a random encounter. So let's get rid of the word random. Let's just say encounter. And Kootner. Encounter on path to, oh, I have that sort of already here. Plan encounter, I guess. So I kind of went through a bunch of options for this encounter here, which is on the path to Tower of Echoes. So the path, let's talk about this really quickly. So right now, these guys, when they were level 4, they came to the Tower of Echoes, and they fought a bunch of stuff on the way there, and then they fought the Guardian of the Tower, which is a spectator, slightly modified, but basically just a spectator. Just a tougher spectator. And it was like, it was basically a party wipe, except that the spectator didn't really want to kill them, so he offered them, with 2 of them unconscious, he offered the last guy a chance to just stabilize his friends and walk away, basically. But they need to go back. Well, they don't need to go back, but they want to go back. One of the NPCs wants them to go back. And they want to go back. There's sort of a vengeance thing going on. So they want to go back and finish this thing off. It's totally fine. It's actually really good for me. So I don't want them to walk in there with full everything, because they now have 2 NPCs in their party. And since they almost beat, like this thing was at 2 hit points, but the guy that was left was also at like 2 hit points, or very low. And the odds were that the spectator was going to hit the guy before the guy was able to hit the spectator. So I think he was even paralyzed. So basically, I just want to wear them down a little bit before they arrive. So what I'm planning on doing As you can see, I sort of had some options. I thought last time they went through this area, they took out a pack of wolves and they fought a grick. And then they fought a group of blights around the base of the tower. And then they went into the tower and they fought the spectator. So it was, I mean, that was over 2 sessions, but, you know, in one day, one adventuring day, I had 4 fights, which is a lot. And so they've sort of changed the landscape a little bit in that the wolves are now dead. They used to sort of be the hunting, you know, the hunters in that area. So now I was thinking, like, what else would have moved in there? So I thought about jackals. But 40 jackals to bring any kind of realistic challenge to these guys. I was like, I'm not going to do 40 jackals. That's ridiculous. So then I thought about having a family of bears, of running the stats of a polar bear, and then 2 brown bears as like younger bears, and having them as like hunters, which I still might do. Thought about having giant wasps. 7 giant wasps would be a good challenge for these guys. But again, or not again, but giant wasps fly, spectators fly. It feels like 2 of the same similar fight. Although giant wasps have to close in to sting you, but they can fly away. So that's like a maybe. Maybe I'll plan 2. I thought about a pack of lions, just out hunting. I thought that would be kind of cool, which I still may do. These ones are like maybes. I thought about running orcs, but orcs don't really show up at this part of the world, and the orcs normally live one in the dungeon that everyone kind of goes into. The orcs normally live 1 layer down, and there's currently a block between the layers, so I'm gonna say no to the orcs, even though I think this would be a cool fight. I like the idea of putting the orog against the dwarf, and then having an orc be able to charge everybody else. Oh, excuse me. So we're going to scrap that one for now. So that leaves me with bugbears. So if I want to do a humanoid encounter, bugbears is like the best bet. I plan on having, I was thinking about this one a little bit more, and I plan on having it at the Grick encounter. At the Grick cliff. So they'd already know to sort of be a little bit wary where the Grick was located, but they'd be looking in the wrong spot. The Grick sat low to the ground, hiding in the rocks. These bugbears would attack from up on high, so then I got to give the bugbears ranged attacks, which may or may not work. I'm switching my books around there. So let's pull up. Let's pull up a sheet here. So they've added Roll20's added monsters. Oh, they have a range stack already. See what I'm looking at. So they already have. If it hits during the first round of combat, target takes an extra 7 2d6 damage from the attack. So basically, they have like a sneak attack function. Melee or ranged, with their javelins, they can throw them 30 feet. 1d6 plus 2. So basically, what I want to do is have the bugbears hiding. I want to have the up on top of the cliff probably, and I'll have them jump up and toss javelins and just hammer these guys. I mean, that's, you're talking 4d6 plus 2. Oh, that's melee. It'd be 3d6 plus 2 damage at range for the first round. And then I would have them like climb down the cliff. So Yeah. That's the plan there. Range attacks to open. To Poen. I'll just write myself a note so I don't forget. And then maybe I'll have another encounter. I like the wasps. Still wait and see how much damage these guys do. So okay, here's the thing. I don't want to punish the players for hiring NPCs or getting NPCs because it's a good idea. And they're already slowed down in their experience gain because of it. But at the same time, I don't want to make everything too easy for them. I want things to be fun and challenging. Giant wasps, maybe. I like the idea that when they get to the Tower of Echoes, there's a wall around it, and when they get inside that wall into the courtyard, they have to fight something there. Maybe that's where the bears can be. I feel like the party that I've pit them against would do well against the bears. Bears or giant wasps? Lions? Lions. I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking this through. I do like the idea of the wasps. You know, the flying thing won't be a problem because the wasp will close in and attack, and if they want to run away, they can leave, just fly away, and it doesn't change. Like, it's not like these guys can't kill them and are getting hit. They just won't be able to kill them. So I think we're gonna go with wasp. I really like the idea of the giant wasp. All right, cut this here, paste it. Use the button to move it over. And this is at the tower walls. Wasps will. Let's see. Well, I'm sure you listening to me read is very exciting. Yeah, I don't care. Not that much. These giant wasps, are they going to fight to the death? Maybe flee at half hit points. I'm just looking up giant wasps now. You know, like you do. Giant wasps have 13 hit points. Wasps swarm, and I don't feel like they're drones, right? So I don't think they will flee. I think they're just going to come in. But wasps will. No. These are going to fight to the death. So the real thing about them flying with a fly speed of 50 is that the party can't get away from them. So I got to be careful with this encounter. They're going to fight to the death. And they're going to come at them once they cross the tower walls. Inside. My experience with these types of things is that I always underestimate my players. I always forget just how awesome they can be. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, so this is a fight to the death. These guys, I feel like bugbears are really aggressive and angry, so they will probably also fight to the death. I'm looking them up. I think they're on page 33. Nope. 16? Nope. I have no idea. I'm gonna stop guessing and just flip until I find. Flip until I find. Oh, I was right. 33. Duh. Okay. They're fond of setting ambushes, and they flee when outmatched. There you go. Flee when outmatched. Okay, so I've got 2 encounters between them and the tower. So this tower is sort of an untraveled part of the forest. There's a game trail basically that kind of leads near it, and these guys have found their way there. Oh, excuse me. So this is planned now, which means I can hit it here. Slide this in. So the goal of this is to, we're going to spend resources. We want to stick with the theme of monsters outside the dungeon, which the bugbears do. The giant wasps would be more natural. And it sticks with the theme of a wild loot wise, the bugbears, I'm not going to have any magic items. They're just going to have some coin. A wounded member of a bugbear band might be left behind to help the rest of the band escape. Afterward, that bugbear might help pursuers track down its former companions if doing so saves its life. I like that. I like that. Bugbears. Treasure. Bugbears treasure. Individual bugbears. Individual treasure for a CR1. One back. Here we go. Treasure. Treasure hoard. Individual treasure CR1 to 4. Guess I could just roll. C. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use dice to determine this because I can. And it's interesting, and I have time to kill. Okay, I got a white and a blue dice. We'll go blue dice first, so blues are 10s. So we're looking at 40. Treasure. 40. 29. 67. And 95. My watch just told me to stand up. It's very exciting. So a 40 is silver pieces. 4d6 silver. So that's 8 plus 8 more. So 40 becomes 16 silver pieces. My next number was a 29, which is copper. 5d6 copper. 9 and 16. The totally average roll of 17 copper. 15. Delete. 67 electrum pieces, which, sure, let's do some. 9 plus 3 is 12 electrum pieces. And 95 is actually gold. 8 plus 4, 12 gold pieces. Oops. So this encounter, really, I mean, it gives them no treasure. It just wears them down. I would think about 7. Oh, it's not even a hard encounter for them, though. Oh, yes, it is. I don't know. I'm just looking at my list here. It is a hard encounter. I think I'll reduce it to 6. But still 1 each. 1 each, straight up 1 each, is I could do 5. Think. You know what? Let's do 5. It makes it basically a medium encounter for the party dynamic they have, which is 3 guys at level 4, 3 PCs at level 4, and then 2 NPCs at level 3. And then 4 bugbears, I'm still happy with that. That's a tougher fight. They're going to hit that one first. They're going to be full everything when they hit that one. So I don't feel too bad about throwing that at them. And then what else do we need? So this is dealt with. We know what Agnes is doing. So these are their NPCs. Anduin, who they saved a while ago. He's basically trying to get his brother's body back to the old wood so he can be with his family or whatever. But he feels like he owes these guys a debt. I'd actually probably say that his brother's body has been either gentle reposed or taken already. Probably gentle reposed. Yeah. Anyway, and then for the random encounter on the return trip, we actually go to the Loot Ogre page. I have a random encounter table already here. So that's to do with whether or not they failed or passed checks. But I'll probably just give them. I might just roll all of this and see what comes up. But I'll do that at the time. I mean, 3 jackals is like nothing. Rust monsters, though. Nobody likes rust monsters. Yeah. The most common encounter on this spread is the 6, because it's 2d6 minus 1. It means the most common encounter is actually one of these. But we'll see. I'll get them to roll that. And what else do I need to plan for this session? Oops. Not a lot, because I've already kind of got everything going. These guys are just tying up loose ends from stuff that we were doing before. So, Agnes Favor. So she's going to know yeah. So I have to know what she's looking for. Something. She needs to find out that it was taken into the dungeon. So I need to give her enough information that she can discover that. So she needs to know blonde, spelling properly, blonde human was seen with a similar item. And he was heading into ruins with group adventure. That's probably all she'll need, because so the blonde guy was actually a PC. He was given excuse me. He was given like a private quest to drop this item off in the dungeon somewhere. And she's looking for that item. So she's going to need these guys to take her back to where it was. Is it there? Probably not. I don't really need to worry about that this time, because it won't get that far next game. Anyway, this is good. I'm glad I thought this stuff through. There's enough here with the legwork I've already done to get me through a session, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but I think I've already got maps and monsters. Where is the spectator? There he is there. So this is the modified spectator, and he just basically confuses and paralyzes the crap out of people. It's good. Traps should be reset. We've got those up. Yeah. So that's that. Take a look at Worldographer. No new version. New. So I'm going to make a new map, and I'm going to make it the kingdom level. Size do you want it? We're going to start small. Not that small. It's too small. Multiples of 6 makes sense. We'll go with 36 by 36, I guess. And everything is going to come in as forest. Forest hills, maybe? Hills, forest, evergreen, deciduous. Beautiful. So, feels like more than 36. Whatever. Don't worry about it. We want to find the middle. Maybe around here. We want to find town. New? I feel like this is maybe new. We have more. Oh, hello. Well, that's kind of cool. And lots of interest. Probably didn't explore all the new options since the update. All right, I want to look at classics. You know what? Forget classic. Let's use isometric. We have a town? We do have town. Cool. Compare them. You. And zoom way in. They're very tiny. The one with the hills is the winner, or the walls is the winner, though. And then we're actually going to go up to here. Mixed forest, evergreen forest, deciduous forest. Interesting. Hills dead, hills dead, hills deciduous. What does this one look like? I actually don't like this super much. I like my classic. So what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm sort of building out a map for the one shot that I ran a little while ago. This back. I'm going to select this again. Call it Hilton. What it's called. Terrain for Hilton probably isn't forested. Or we leave it as for. No. Well, yeah. So Hilton is a crossroads or whatever. It's a point in the road where people come north and south. So let's do this. Okay. Map to points. On Kingdom Road. Deselect. You know what? There's an idea for you. What if we make the a triangle? Let's do that. And we'll come back here. Try again. So you normally travel, this is a mile. You normally travel 3 miles an hour, but you travel half that distance. They got lost. It took them 2 hours to find, 3 hours to find where they were going. It means somewhere out here. Door, do we have dungeon? Yeah, maybe. So we're looking for something to represent this guy's building that was stuck out of the side of the hill. It wasn't a tower. Way station. I just really don't know. What do we got in resources? There's some cool looking stuff here. Well, settlement. Where? These dungeons. Normally should have taken them 2 hours, which means it's got to be 3 miles. 1, 2, 3. Place it here. It is not called Hilton. What is it called? It is called Tor's House. Tor's. All right, let's look at our book. Tor's Dwell. Now, these guys are not obviously going to run roads right through the middle of hills. This is hilly, where we said Tor's Dwelling is. I figured this is going to be somewhat dense. The idea of Hilton is that you could see for quite a ways from it. So normally you'd only see 3 miles standing on the ground. From the top of Hilton, you can probably see further. Zoom out a bit. 2, 4. Let's go 6. Two, 3, 3. And kind of give us the area. If I was smart, measured at 6 mile X, worked with that. So this is all fine and good, but we know, actually we don't know, where the bigger world hexes are. That's fine. It should be 1, 2, 3, 2.5. Go to here. Whatever. We're going to ring this whole place with dense force. Maybe where the roads pierce through. No, a road can still go through dense. Nothing wrong with it. All right. Hold down Control to move the endpoint. This thing. Hold down Alt to add in points. Down Control to slide them in. Deselect. Grab a new one. Try it again. Slide you out. Try putting you in the right. Beautiful. Really worked though? It did. Select. Select is not a word. Beautiful. So now I can populate this area as I see fit. Do that. This is 1. Is 2017. cave? I almost would prefer the cave. Well, that's the thing I wanted to do. I've done it now. I don't really have a lot else to do on here, so I'm probably going to stop streaming. So that's us. This thing. That didn't work. There we go. Yeah, well, I hope there was something useful to somebody in this, and I kind of enjoyed just talking and building and doing my stuff. Yeah, until next time, let's all make the game a better place.